Today we'll speak about the location of lighting the Hanukkah candles. Originally, the Chachamim made a takana that a person should light the Hanukkah candles on the outside of one's doorpost, on the left side, opposite the mezuzah, because that was the maximum amount of Pirsumei Nisa, of publicizing the Nis. At the front of his door, or at the front of his courtyard. Later on in history, it became a little bit scarce. People didn't usually do that anymore. People used to vandalize the menorah, or sometimes that would cause pogroms. So therefore, people started lighting inside. Now, obviously, that's not the case anymore. Usually, lighting the Hanukkah candles by the outside your door doesn't usually cause, where we live at least, and especially in Eretz Yisrael, doesn't cause vandalism, doesn't cause pogroms. But for whatever reason, although in Eretz Yisrael it's much more common for people to light outside, for whatever reason in America or outside of Eretz Yisrael, it's the minhag, the prevalent minhag is to still light inside. So if a person's lighting inside, which seems to be the minhag today, what is the most preferable place to light? So Maran Zechron Bracha writes in Chazon Ovadia, if a person has a window that faces Reshut Rabim, that faces the street where people are passing by and people will be able to see the Hanukkah candles, that's the most preferable place to light. If a person does not, the Ben Ish Chai also writes that Lefia Kabbalah, even if a person is not lighting the Hanukkah candles on the left doorpost on the outside, it's still preferable to do it on the inside. So, a person should do that, at least to be Yotzei the Kabbalah, even if nobody can see it on the outside. Now again, sometimes that's not so practical. If a person has children, or if a person, sometimes that blocks the door when a person needs to get out during the initial half an hour that the candles are lit, so sometimes that doesn't work either. What happens if a person doesn't have any of these options? He doesn't have a window that faces the street. He doesn't have the ability to light on the left doorpost on the inside of the house. So what should he do? The Rama brings down from Tshuvat Rashba, Manicho al shulchano v'dayo. You can light the Hanukkah candles on your table, and that's enough. Because nowadays, the primary Pirsumanis, the primary publicizing of the miracle, is for the people of the household. And Be'emet, Maran Zechron Bracha, before he moved to Rehova Kablan, he used to live on Jabotinsky in Rehavia. He did not have a window that faced the street. He lit on his dining room table he gathered his family, lit on the dining room table, and that was the end of that. When he moved to Kablan, he had a window that faced the street. He lived on the first floor, so he lit at that window. I remember watching him light at that window. Now again, if a person lives in an apartment building, and he lives a few flights up, that's above 20 amot from street level, you don't gain much. Even if you have a window that's facing the street, you don't gain much by lighting in that window because nobody looks up that high anyway. So once again, unless you have a building that's opposite, that people opposite you in an opposite building can see, that's okay. But otherwise, there's no real benefit in doing that. And once again, you can light anywhere in the house that you like. Yom Tov and Shabbat Shalom. This evening, Mincha followed by Kabbalat Shabbat in Arvit is at 4:10 p.m. Bezat Hashem. Shabbat Shalom.